Recording. Welcome everybody as a few more people start coming in. We're excited to have you all. If you want to go ahead and meet yourselves for the moment, that'd be great. My name is Brian Rose. I serve as the Associate Director for Career Education at the VCU School of Business Career Services. We are very excited to have all of you today. About to introduce our wonderful speaker, Aaron. But first, we kind of want to give you some perspective about what today is about. Really what Aaron is going to do today is give you a really great perspective on how to utilize your LinkedIn profile proactively. A lot of times we spend so much time talking about the profile itself and not enough time about connection and intentional use. So from a recruiter's perspective, he's going to be able to provide you some really good thoughts there. So the first half of the content is on that. And then the second half is on the profile. So we might not get fully to the profile side, but we wanted to still leave that in there so that you have that content when we send the slides out. So we're excited to have Aaron today, and I'll go ahead and introduce him really quick, and then he'll get rolling. So Aaron, again, thanks for being here. Aaron is a May 2019 VCU School of Business graduate with a BS in marketing with a minor in human resources. At VCU, he held many leadership positions across campus, including Business Student Ambassador President and the Office of Student Engagement Student Organization Coordinator. Since graduation, he's been working as a recruiter at Dominion Energy, a volunteer for the VCU Alumni Society, and he's working to start his own side venture. So again, we're excited to have Aaron. The one request is we'll have the last 10 minutes be reserved for questions. So we'll have y'all muted throughout the presentation. Please, as the presentation goes, private message me, Brian Rose, with any questions that pop up, and we'll field those the last 10 minutes of the presentation. So with that, I'll kick it off to Aaron. Aaron, thanks again for being here.
Sweet. Thank you to Career Services and Brian and Katie Beth for just inviting me to speak. So I'm going to share my screen. Right. Can you all see this? Is this all good, Brian? Okay, cool. So this presentation, like Brian said, is leveraging LinkedIn in 2020. With everything going on around, I created this presentation to just help others. So this is me. I am a VCU School of Business 2019 grad. I currently work as a recruiter for Dominion Energy. I'm a content creator. Since January, I created my own page called COVID Advice. I am a VCU Alumni Society volunteer, and I've been using LinkedIn since freshman year of college, which was 2015. I'm also certified. I just got certified in February as an associate professional in human resources. So overall, right now, my whole work is in the HR and marketing field. So to really leverage LinkedIn and to really just have a good profile, you need to understand what LinkedIn is and how many people are actually on LinkedIn. Right now, there are 630 million users on LinkedIn, 90 million senior level executives, and then 10 million C-level executives. So that chief CEOs, CIOs, CMOs. Overall, that just puts you in a really good place to network with so many great people, so many different people you can meet who have different titles but different experiences from different parts of life. So these three logos right now, and you see these are just three examples. Your first thoughts are a lot of things for these different logos. Either you go to VCU, either you wear Nikes every day, you might drive past McDonald's. These are all brands. And you can also just think of a whole bunch of celebrities which come to name, whether like Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, whoever. They have really big personalities and they have a really good personal brand around them. So this presentation is more of just building your own personal brand. Everyone, no matter how famous you are, how many people you know, has a personal brand, and that can be utilized to leverage in networking and creating content, and just promoting yourself to use it as a vehicle for your resume. So LinkedIn overall is a vehicle to use for your resume and for future jobs and networking. So this is my LinkedIn year in review. Since graduating, I've used LinkedIn a lot. Like I said, I started using LinkedIn in freshman year of 2015 and used it since. Since graduating, I got my full-time job through LinkedIn. So because I posted so much in undergrad, a mentor actually reached out to me. I had informational interviews with her, and she passed along my content, what I've been posting, my resume, and basically my portfolio to my now supervisor. And so once I got in the door, I did the interviews, and I've been at Dominion Energy since. So just like this, through my LinkedIn content and just what I've been posting and reaching out to people, I've been asked to do a lot of presentations. If for those who know DECA, the high school competitions, one of my high school teachers actually reached out to me through LinkedIn because of what I post, and she asked me to judge the state competitions in February, which was a really cool experience and just a big full circle. And I would not have got that if I didn't promote myself and just post what I do, but also just reach out and stay connected with people on LinkedIn. And then last, just personal network expansion. So this name particular, I knew I was doing this presentation and I knew I was preparing for this presentation. So I thought to myself, I was like, what is a way to really showcase how I can show that LinkedIn is important and people do respond to LinkedIn? So this name right here is the new CEO. He just got new CEO of LinkedIn. He just got inducted, or he just stepped up to the position this past June. So it just shows, I sent him a message, really just kind of wishingly and dreamingly to see if he would respond. But he did. He did connect with me. And if you look at my connections, I'm connected with now the CEO of LinkedIn. I don't know if he'll continue to respond to me, but still just showcase how powerful LinkedIn is. So how do you really build and leverage LinkedIn? So this presentation, I'm going to talk about the power of your network as I just did. I'll be going over settings and then optimizing your profile and then creating content. Right now, like Brian said, this is going to be recorded. So I will mainly be focusing on the power of your network. And if we don't have time, I'll just briefly go over these three. But you can always refer back to the YouTube link or presentation if it's provided. So power of your network. This, just like I said, understanding your brand and then understanding who you know is really important. You most likely have not just found out about this without knowing someone at VCU, seeing one of our posts, knowing me. If you know at least 10 people, that can expand to another 10. They know 10. The power of your network can reach really far, especially through LinkedIn. And it's so easy to just reach out to people, connect with them, and engage with them on LinkedIn. So once you understand the power of your network, and this will help you really understand like what kind of people I know and just people around me, professors at VCU. So if you're a student, professors you've gone through, professors you met. One of my professors actually, after seeing this post, reached out to me, have a conversation on Friday. So even professors have really just experience in the industry who you can reach out to and just ask them for advice. Alumni, we have 129,000 VCU alumni. Just our VCU alumni are willing to help. And in this presentation, I'll talk about how to reach out to them as well. There are many different LinkedIn groups right now. For my recruiting position, I recruit for the energy industry. So I'm in a lot of solar industry, engineer industry groups, just because I look for that. But you can join anything you're very interested. If you're looking for sales, if you're looking for marketing, those LinkedIn groups are really helpful. Recommendations, and then friends who you may know, or friends who you have who may know a CEO, who may know someone like in a position. Ask them for a referral. So this next few slides is how to search VC alumni. I'm going to briefly go over this really quickly, but again, you can go back and look at it. So once you're in LinkedIn, you look at the search bar, click search. There's a little magnifying glass right there. If you click that, click all filters, and then scroll down. So this will pop up a bunch of searches. Again, this is mainly just to search VC alumni or just specific companies, but you can scroll down and this whole box will show up. You can, if you know someone's first name and last name, you can do that, but mainly the title, company, and school is what you should be right now I'm like focusing on. School, VCU alumni, make sure it just pops up, or VCU School of Business, VCU Virginia Commonwealth University. Company, if you're looking up for Nike, just put Nike and the school. And if you're looking for a specific title for someone, a recruiter, marketing manager, whatever, you can put that too. Once you're done, hit apply, and a bunch of results will come up. I blocked them out just for privacy's sake, but 25 results came up for me. These were all VCU alumni when I looked at it. But this is just a really quick and easy way to look up someone and find those VCU alumni. Like I said, 129,000 VCU alumni around which you can connect with. So now that you know how to look someone up, the really next step is asking. I put these two quotes because closed mouths don't get fed. No one's gonna know what you want. No one's gonna know what kind of work you want to do if you don't ask, if you don't reach out to someone, if you don't have those informational interviews. And the same thing goes for the second quote. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So definitely reach out to people. But there's two ways to do that. So you can just connect with them. Usually this is just an easy connect or follow. But a lot of people just easily do that without sending a message. Every time you connect with people, you can send a 300-word message. This is a quick message which people can respond, and recruiters, managers see it in their list of invites. It helps people stand out, and it'll just make you more likely to be accepted in that invite. These next few slides are going to be just my templates around how to send that message, because again, I would recommend really just sending that 300-word message and using it. So I got to start off just some bad examples of messages I've gotten. This first one is just not only grammatically correct, it's just not formatted right. I blocked out the name and job position, but it wasn't direct. It didn't tell me really what the candidate wanted. It was just really open. The second one, she directly just put experience in seeking blank, 24 hours negotiable, the place from Virginia, and her LinkedIn profile. So these are two I would not recommend sending. One, because just keep it grammatical, keep it easy to read. We as recruiters, we can click on your profile, so you don't need to waste word count on a link. And also, you are overall trying to have a conversation. You're trying to learn more about the recruiter. You're trying to learn more about the person you're reaching out to. You are trying to just build a relationship. You're not just trying to it's not a one-sided thing. We both want to learn about each other. So make it a message which will help me learn about you, and you will also learn about me and my company. So these are some examples of the presentation or the messages I've received. So after doing some presentations, people have reached out to me during Dominion Energy Student Conference. A few students reached out to me. And then I want to note this one. This was after the 300-word message, but then they followed up. They followed up with a message specifically with the job position number, the intern, where he was from, and just more information about him overall. So these are just little written out good messages I've received. So these next few slides are some templates of how to reach out to different people. So this first one is VCU alumni. So like I said, VCU alumni, I cannot just say it enough. VCU alumni are willing to help. VCU alumni are willing to just reach out and listen. But you got to say it. Tell them you are a student. Tell them you are a recent grad. Just tell them first like who you are and how your relation to VCU is. Then say, what are you interested in? If you see their company, if they work at Nike, tell them I'm a VCU alumni. I am a VCU student, and I'm interested in your company. I want to learn about like what you have, opportunities. I want to learn about your position a little bit more. Again, this is just an easy way to send a message in a template to VCU alumni. There are two ways to reach out to a recruiter for a job. Or advice. So the first one on the left, I'm not going to read through it, but the first one is mainly just asking for advice, trying to connect with the recruiter just to expand your network. A lot of recruiters post their own positions on their networks and on their positions. So it's always good to just connect with recruiters. One way you can send this 300-word message is really just trying to see if they have time to to explain like their journey, to explain what they've been through, and just overall just see who they are, like really trying to build that relationship, like I said. The second, if you apply for a job, this is just my opinion, and a lot of different recruiters have different ways of how they use LinkedIn. But this might be a way you could use it to get noticed and have that recruiter accept it. So definitely, you shouldn't just be emailing them and saying like I applied and just trying to make them look at it. Ask them thoughtful questions. Look up the job description. Ask them what the job is about. Ask them what the role entails. See if you can have an actual conversation with them to really discuss the job and see, then you can relate how you fit in possibly for the role. Most of the times recruiters do look at a lot of their LinkedIn resumes, but we are more likely to accept a message where it's not directly stating, we want this job, can you get it for me? Because we want to learn more about you, and we want to see if you are the best candidate for our position. These next two are random but club common experience or company. So in junior year, I reached out to a resident assistant for Google when I was trying to figure out the Bold experience and just trying to just learn more about different companies. So you can, in the search box, definitely look out your comments. So if you're a resident assistant, if you have a marketing director position, look it up and just send them a message. I have this common experience. I want to see how it relates to your company and your common position. Random, but no connection. So this is a message I sent when I saw LinkedIn Talent Connect last fall. I saw a lot of posts about it. So I reached out to them. I said, I saw your really cool post. Can I talk to you about it? I just want to learn more about it. This is a great way to just look at their profile. Again, looking at the person's, not just sending a blank message, but really researching about the recruiter, the person, manager, who you're about to talk to. Things to keep in mind, people are busy. Don't expect a reply right away. Right now, I have about 10 messages I still need to respond to just because of everything going on. I have not had the time to respond to them, but I will. So don't totally discard it if you don't get a reply in 1-2 days. Some recruiters, managers get a lot of invites and requests per day and per week. In this last year, my invites have increased. I've seen than even being an undergrad just because of my title. Follow up. So if they connect and don't reply, definitely follow up. You can definitely send that longer message like I showed before, and it's okay. Just don't send too many messages if they don't reply, but definitely you can follow up. And again, I receive a lot of invite requests, but I don't receive that many personalized 300-word messages or even letters or like messages written out. I am personally more likely to just see it and reply to a message if I see something, a thoughtful message. And so I'm briefly, looking at the time, I'm briefly going to go over these next two, next settings and stuff, next settings and content. So to really build your profile, definitely create and customize your LinkedIn URL. So this URL can be copied and pasted to your resume, can be copied and pasted anywhere. Definitely look at your public profile visibility. Right now, I have different visibilities available. This is just my personal preferences. Change it how you want. Again, job seeking preferences. So if you're looking for a job and looking for a role, if you go to settings, there are a few things you should turn on. Recruiters have our own platform of how we look at candidates, and we know which candidates are open for opportunities and just helps us find those candidates. Right now, mine are changed to no because I'm not looking for an opportunity, but definitely change this to just definitely change this to yes if you're interested for opportunity. This can also do commute preferences if needed. Optimizing profile. So I'm going to briefly go over these. Definitely just have a good profile picture. You can read through this and go back through it in the sake of time. There are different banners you can have. Don't have the standard banner. You can talk about solid background, city background, industry and job, and school. So you definitely just utilize how you can use a banner of your choice. Keyword or your headline. Make sure your headline says your role first, then keywords. Don't make it long. You don't need to put your whole role. Right now, I just have recruiter at DE. And I honestly would take DE out, but most people, when I reach out to them, need to know I'm a recruiter from Dominion Energy. But you can even just keep student org coordinator, leader after it. This is a summary if you want to redo your summary. Experience, just keep it just like your resume with bullets, easy to read. You can put leadership experience, student involvement, anything you need. And then last, create content. You can have this great profile, you can reach out to people, but you still need to be actively posting content. So these are 6 things you can post right now. I'm excited to announce. So in the next few weeks, I've just heard about some board positions, which I'm going to be on in the future, and I'm going to be posting. I'm excited to announce this. I'm excited to see what I can do. New goals and setting new progress, stuff from your portfolio, books you've read, offer to help advice. And then what are you doing right now? What are you just doing at home? What do you want to do? So these are just 6 ways you can post now. And then, so this is LinkedIn homework. If any of you want to connect with me, definitely send me an invite, but make sure you personalize your invite to me. I'll still accept everyone, but I'll more likely, again, to respond if you personalize your invite. And then Brian and Kate Beth, definitely just connect with them and VC Business Career Services for one-on-one sessions. And now I'll just open up for questions.
Thanks so much, Aaron. That was awesome. Everyone is muted, so the way that we prefer to do questions is feel free to directly message me with your question, and I'll essentially start moderating those. So as questions come through, I'll kind of prompt you with one. The first one is, can we get the recording? Yes, we will make sure those all involved will have the recording. It'll actually be a YouTube link, so we'll be sure to get that done. The first question actually came through. For those who do not have a LinkedIn, how do you suggest getting started?
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely would start with the profile, start with the basics. Message career services and have that one-on-one session with either career services. Message me, and I think this will be provided for what I talked about, the profile, basic settings. It definitely just start creating one and reaching out to people, connecting with people. So it's never too late to start.
Yeah, and that's a great question for everybody, because at the end of the day, if you have a resume, you can have a LinkedIn profile. That's all you really need.
Yep.
You need a resume and you need a solid professional headshot. Once you have those, it's just about filling out the sections of the profile. So once you have that, you can get started and start connecting. It's really the resume and the picture, and then you can get rolling.
Yeah, I agree.
We have a few questions coming through, so this is perfect. This is a great question for you on the recruiting side, Aaron. As a recruiter, do you search for candidates, and maybe you can tell them about LinkedIn Recruiter right now? And then on top of that, obviously you mentioned wanting people to have their resume essentially copied and pasted with the bullet points on there for that content and those keywords. But again, as a recruiter, do you search for candidates, and how important is the skills section specifically on LinkedIn for that search?
Yeah, those are good questions. So for the first question, recruiters do have like a separate platform inside of LinkedIn. It's like a subsection where we can just search profiles. And again, with those people who are interested in have their opportunities open, We search that by keywords, position titles, experience. So that's why it is really good to kind of use your resume and put it into a LinkedIn profile, because we do search keywords. We do search certifications you may have. We do search job titles when we are looking on the recruiter platform, LinkedIn Recruiter Seat. So we do use it for just a numerous ways. So that's why it's always good to have that profile as optimized as possible.
That's so good. And to follow up on that, this is kind of on scope and importance of that.
Mm-hmm.
How much do recruiters go to LinkedIn to search for potential candidates? Is it a must-have when looking for a new role, in your opinion?
Mm-hmm. I think it depends on the role and company. So for our company at Dominion Energy, we have a recruiter specifically for digital recruiting. And then each individual recruiter like myself uses LinkedIn for our individual positions. So I think it does depend on LinkedIn or per company and per recruiter, but it never hurts to just have something extra and have that extra profile really optimized because you don't know what kind of opportunities will come from just having such a profile.
And that's a really good, thought there. If you don't mind, I'll kind of have 30 seconds on this too. When I was a recruiter in the IT space, LinkedIn Recruiter was one of the biggest platforms we used day to day, right? We also post things on Monster, post things on Career Builder, post things on that as well. But it was mainly we're going through the company website and seeing who's applied, but also being proactive, sending messages on LinkedIn as well, which is really helpful because, again, a lot of people will say, hey, just have like a 1-sentence summary under your experiences. Aaron and all of us in business career services will say, hey, we need all that content on there so we can find you and send you opportunities proactively by finding keywords. I think that's really great.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll have to fly through a couple of these. These are great questions. How many applicants do recruiters generally look at from a LinkedIn job posting? So when a job's posted on LinkedIn specifically, how many would you think you see?
So again, it depends on companies. So for us, we're fortunate to have someone dedicated directly to our digital sourcing and digital recruiting. So we look through all of them, even everyone who applies to our directly Dominion Energy base. Our recruiters, we don't have a system to like narrow it down. All our recruiters look at all the resumes, but different companies might have different ways of approaching that.
Couple of these, are there specific soft skills that recruiters are looking for these days? If so, can you share a few with us?
Yeah, just quickly, I think leadership, communication, if you can, that just goes back to how your profile set up, what you're posting. If you can communicate your idea, if you can communicate your message really well, that definitely is one thing that just stands out.
And that's really great too, because a lot of times when people think about communicating those skills, they're like, I'm going to toss communication as a skill on my profile, which is great, but show people that you can communicate through that summary statement. Show people that you have a skill in communication through the skills that you're writing and how well you're writing your bullet points. So those soft skills are often communicated through your actual bullet points and content, not just saying, I can communicate in my skills section. I think that's really good. That's a good point, Aaron. All right. So in the summary, do you think that recruiters respond better to someone that has one that's written from first person, right? A lot of times we'll see people that like write themselves like in third person. Would you prefer first person, like a cover letter is written?
Yes. I personally just like it in first person. Because this is a social media, just like Instagram, just like Facebook. It's more professional than those and Twitter and everything, but you still should make it, at least in my opinion, first person. It just showcases better, and it shows that you're not just throwing stuff on or just like a brand, like a company. It shows a real person. So.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, this profile is meant to feel connected, right? And if you're third person, it feels disconnected, So that's really good. I like that. I think this is a really interesting question here. It's very customized based off of industry, but I think it's a good question. How do I know what keywords recruiters are looking for?
I think definitely job descriptions. So when we look at resumes, we look at our job description. And so if, for example, if you're looking for a marketing job, Google marketing jobs and look at just compare all 10 resume or job descriptions and see what words stand out. Even maybe dropping it in like a word bubble and see what words are the best or the biggest. Those are more likely the words that we are looking for and we need.
That's so good, and that's so important, right? Is that they're looking for keywords of the talents and skills that they're recruiting for, right? So that's why we want to make sure those types of things are highlighted in our bullet points and in our experience. I think that's a great question and an important thing to know. The last one I have right now, and I know we're kind of at time, but do you find a lot of recent graduates have a LinkedIn? You know?
I think for a lot of recent graduates, yes, I do see a lot now, especially with just the way technology is moving and people like applying for jobs more online. Yes, I've been seeing a lot more of just my peers and recent graduates, even college students. I saw a few profiles of high school students, which is like crazy to me too, but it is moving in that direction of more people on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's growing every day, so.
1,000%, because that's the thing, right? As a recruiter, you're trying to cut through to figure out where the talent is, and LinkedIn is such a rich environment for that. And so having a profile that can actually, interact with people is going to be important. And yes, we will be sharing this recording, but we have hit time. Aaron, thank you so much for being with us. Your insights, not only as the stellar undergraduate student you were and the stellar, now young professional that you are, is so helpful. And I know it means so much to us and the people who've been on the call today. So thanks so much for everyone being here. I do want to make sure we plug next week's same time, different link. We'll send that out. But same time, we have 12 to 12:30 next week, Wednesday, the 17th. We have a representative from Capital One coming in to talk to us about virtual interviewing. We're very excited about that. Chelsea from Capital One is going to be helping us out. So don't hesitate to hop on that next week as well. So again, thanks so much, Aaron. Any closing words from a recruiter and VCU alum? Sign off on?
Yeah, like go VCU, but definitely I think it's just starting. Definitely just start making your profile, start posting. That's always the hardest step. And your start can even be messaging me and career services. So.
Good. Well, thanks so much. We care about everyone on this call. Business Career Services is here to support, so don't hesitate to reach out.
Yes.
Have a good one, everybody.